What's up, guys, and welcome to WP LaCroix. Some exciting news coming this week. Earnings releases from CRON Group, LULU, and LEN Homes. I wanted to hit all three of these. First, CRON Group, I'm just going to be really brief with them. I know a lot of people are really into the marijuana stocks these days. I'm not buying a lot of the hype. I think the market for marijuana stocks is much more limited than people think. I could be totally off on that, but that's my personal opinion. CRON Group, to give you some perspective right now, they have a $3.7 billion market cap, and their last quarter they brought in $3.7 million in revenue. So not sure how those are correlated exactly. Lost about 7 million, I believe, 7 or 8 million in the quarter. So not sure exactly. There's no way to value those companies. There's no way to estimate what they're supposed to be worth because it's all based on hype. So as soon as the market takes a downturn, so are a lot of those marijuana stocks gonna fall with it, and they'll fall hard. So that's why I don't really buy into it a ton. But just wanted to touch on them. As far as earnings release goes, I don't know what you expect from them, but probably around $4 million in revenue, I think, is the assumption from the majority of people. They're growing fast. They're growing really fast, so I can see that. But even with that fast growth, they're only going to do maybe $12 million in revenue this year. 13 maybe. So yeah, we'll see. The big one I'm looking at, though, is LULU. They have earnings beat in the last 4 quarters. To kind of give you some quick notes on LULU, they have a $19.3 billion market cap. PE ratio right now of 51.5, which is pretty high, but they've been growing really fast over the last couple of years. Like I said, they've beat the last 4 quarters, and they've seen a positive stock impact from that. And so I'm really looking for another beat. So to kind of give you some perspective, their EPS estimation for this quarter, they need to be above $1.74. And they're releasing earnings after hours on Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that. 1.74 EPS, 1.15 billion is what they're anticipated. And then their forecasting should be right around 743 million for the following quarter. And so they hit those numbers, that'll represent about a 23% revenue growth annually, which is good. Not as good as they were in the past, so I don't know how. I mean, unless they just dominate their numbers, I don't know how much the stock will jump if they just hit. But just keep an eye out for that. Stock currently is up 19% year to date. I like LULU long term. I think they're gonna continue to kill it. Their athleisure wear is getting really big. They have just a ton of clothing that you can wear at any time, and it's getting really popular. It's really comfortable. I personally own several LULU pants that, man, they're my favorite. I have a hard time wearing any other pants. I even wear them, like, you can dress them up, dress them down. So I think they're really hitting that market on the head, and I think long term they're going to be a great company to keep an eye on, to follow. The other company I wanted to hit on today is LEN Homes, ticker symbol LEN, and they are releasing Wednesday in the morning. So look out for them. The reason I'm really watching LEN is to get an overall view of where the real estate market is. So if you don't know LEN Homes, they specialize in new home builds all around the US. So they're usually mostly in the mid-market from what I understand. So I'm really looking to keep an eye on what they're doing. Are they going to see growth? I know the real estate market last year was pretty bad towards the end of the year for the majority of states. I'm out here in Utah, and the real estate market's still booming. So it's slowed down a little bit, but the growth is still continuing. I understand in other places, though, it's taken more of a dip, and that's understandable. So the quick notes on the company: $15.5 billion market cap. They have a PE ratio right now of 9.07 with dividend of 16 cents. So they pay a 16-cent dividend. It's only a 0.33% annual dividend, but hey, it's something. I have invested with them in the past. I'm not currently invested in Leonard Homes, but the stock right now is up 23.5% year to date. They're killing it so far this year. They missed last quarter earnings. A lot of people did, but they're especially in the new home builds. They missed by just a little bit. So the estimations for this quarter is 76 cents EPS with 4.1 billion in revenue, and they're anticipated to forecast 5.39 billion in revenue for the next quarter. So keep an eye out for that. This is going to give us an overall idea of where the market is, how many new homes are going up, is there still a lot of growth. You can typically, when there's a lot of new homes being built and being bought, there's typically good growth in the economy, and so it's good, kind of a good thing to look at and keep an eye on long term. And so those are the stocks I'm looking at. I know we got a lot more exciting things coming this week in the stock market. Apple's got their event going on today. By the time you're viewing this, they could have already had it. As of right now, as I'm viewing this, I know they're releasing their new streaming service, releasing Apple Card, as well as Apple News Plus. And so what's that going to do for the company? I think it's going to help them continue to grow. I think it's some great options coming out from them. From what I understand about their TV service, and I can do a video with more information on this, but they are letting you choose the channels, and then you're just paying for those channels that you chose, which I think is a genius idea. YouTube TV has been great, but I think they're missing that customizability. You can't choose what channels, you just get the main package. And so I think that's a great space for Apple to be putting their chips on, and we'll see what happens with their stock. But anyway, guys, have an awesome week. I'll try to get another video out this week, a little more information on either these earnings releases, maybe more on the Apple event, just kind of big events coming up, and stay tuned. Thanks, guys.